Hey guys, Boxfire Press's next novel is due out this month. Due out this month. It's called A Breach in Death by Matt Thomas. It is about a Grim Reaper and his first day on the job. So I'm going to walk you through the process of how we created the cover for this novel. And we started with this image of a Grim Reaper. It was actually that's a cropped version of this bigger image. And we wanted to create a tarot card, the death card, if you will. And it was really just a lot of layering of different textures to create the card look. The first step, actually, was to take this image and turn it more into an illustrated version of itself. So we applied a special treatment with the brushes and some plugins and some textures in Photoshop to take it from this photorealistic version to this more painted acrylic texture. We used another plugin actually then to add image border, and then from there it was really about layering over some dirt and grime. Of course, we added text with some drop shadow to make it blend in, but this is way too clean for the tone of this book. This is really a suspense, horror, paranormal kind of book. So we started with some dirt and grime, kind of roughing up the card. We also added this sunburst pattern in there to give it a little more visual interest and make it look more illustrated. Then it was more grime. You can see it's coming in around the edges here. Some darkening, some vignetting around the edge on this side. More grime on top of that, and then finally this vector of cracked and peeling paint was added around the edges. So then we had our card. Now, the title of the book was A Breach in Death, so we knew we were going to tear this card in half. And that really only involved making 2 copies of it and then using a mask with a special torn brush edge look in Photoshop to create the top and the bottom. And then we had our torn card. So then we went through quite a few concepts with this card, how to turn this into the cover that we finally ended up with. This was one concept that we came up with. One of the problems we were having was getting a kind of visual simplicity that we prefer in our titles and our books. And this was a little too busy, too many words, too many things drawing the eye. This was a little better. I actually kind of liked this one. It had some nice color to it, but it felt a little too plain still. This was another concept that we considered, but it was very difficult to see the author's name in the title. And again, having it compete with this part of the card up here. Another concept, just a different kind of color temperature. New background on this one and a different color scheme as well. Then we finally ended up, there was one more before that one. This was getting closer. It was almost actually went with this one. You can see this is where the spine, the center of the spine would have been. Still, there was a little too much, I think, that was taking away from reading the title. So we ended up rotating the card and expanding it so you really don't even see that it's the card, but you do get some of this really great painted texture in there, and then you see the breach, the tear in the card just coming down there a little bit. You get a really nice look for the title, the author's name, and just some really spectacular color in this. So there you have it. We went from this one all the way back here to this final concept, which you'll see very soon. The book is shipping out and will be in stock at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you'll be able to get it at your local bookstore very soon. Thanks.